melech chai v'kayam moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta nishmasi b'chema Rabbo emunasecha shechazarta nishmasi nishmasi b'chema Rabbo emunasecha moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam 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 shechazarta nishmasi b'chema Rabbo emunasecha moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam moidei ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam
5 minutes after 6 a.m. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nachum Siegel. Welcome to a Wednesday. This is your Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, and we are here in Paris, France. I'm speaking to you in front of Hyper Kasher, the supermarket that was hit just under a year ago by the terrible terrorist attack here in Paris, France, something that led us to declare a Jewish Unity Initiative for Europe, something that we've done in the United States and Israel many, many times. We've decided to bring to Paris, France this time around to tell our friends, our brothers, our sisters in Paris that when the Jewish community, or when Jews in general, are in challenging situations, there are other Jews in the world who care and who are looking on with great anticipation and great tension, and whose collective heart aches when there is problems, when there are challenges for Jews in other areas. I want to, as we stand here in Paris on the site of this terrible terrorist episode, I want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that the Jewish Unity Initiative has been met with tremendous enthusiasm, has been met with incredible reaction by our community and specifically by our listeners. And this is an initiative that we take very, very seriously. It's one with a very simplistic message and an easy message to convey, but one that's so meaningful, so symbolic, and so important. And everybody out there, in whatever way, shape, or form that you have expressed your support, that you've expressed your enthusiasm and your love for what we are doing, we say thank you. This Wednesday broadcast is in advance of what's happening tonight at Le Victoire, what's happening tonight at the Great Synagogue of Paris, a Jewish music event simply to allow everybody to celebrate Hanukkah together and to celebrate this great Jewish community here in Paris. And there are those around the world who have helped us focus on the fact that it's so important that Jewish communities of the diaspora, especially important and large ones, be reinforced, be given encouragement, and be given whatever support is necessary. And that is what we are doing here. We are presenting this radio broadcast on Wednesday. We're presenting a post-concert broadcast on Thursday morning, and in between, the incredible event where thousands will gather together to enjoy and celebrate the holiday of Hanukkah. I thank you all for tuning in. There's plenty more coming up. We have discussions with people that we met here in Paris. We'll be speaking to the chairman of our event who knows this town, this city, this country, and this continent very, very well. And we'll continue with more coming up. Keep it right here at JM in the AM.
תגיד שלום לכל אדם, גם בזמנים הכי קשים, בסוף כולנו בני אדם. גם בלילות ובימים, כשכולנו נפגשים, say hello, say goodbye, לכל אדם שאתה מכיר. שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה, שלום סלם על כולם. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה, שלום סלם שלום. שלום לכל אדם, גם בזמנים הכי קשים, בסוף כולנו בני אדם. גם בלילות ובימים, כשכולנו נפגשים, say hello, say goodbye, לכל אדם שאתה מכיר. שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה, שלום סלם על כולם. עושה שלום Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. חיים חיים אדוי לו נרבי מתוי ומנוי הנה מתוי ומנוי שבשחי גם יוחד הנה מתוי ומנוי שבשחים גם יוחד תנתל חרמוי שיוי רד על הרציוי כי שום ציבור אשר אסע ורוחו חיים חיים אדוי לו כתל חרמוי שיוי רד על הרציוי כי שום ציבור אשר אסע ורוחו חיים חיים אדוי לו
every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. The world is not exactly how I'd like for it to be, but I have a certain feeling Hashem is watching me. I won't let fears and worries steal the joy out of my day. Just think positive and problems melt away. Stop, don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. Stop, don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. I sometimes stop and listen to the children when they play, and enjoy the sound of laughter and the funny things they say. At times I worry much too much that all will be alright. Then I heard these words of wisdom late one night. Stop, don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. Stop, don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. Don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, 'cause tomorrow is a brand new day. Everybody stop, don't think about it, be thankful every day. I once heard the wise man say, just stop, don't think about it, tomorrow is a brand new day. 'Cause tomorrow is a brand new day.
يا ماما لا شمشتي أنت أمي وحياتي، دم غني فيك يا ماما، كرهتني عذبت فيا، أنت حيلك يا نوانية، أمي ما أنت لغنينا، أمي ما أنت لغزيزة، إغنتي يا داوانية، شاحل جرتي وهممت فيا، تبع شحلك يا نوانية، يا ماما داوانية، أنت مشيتي وخليتيني، يا ماما كيفاش خليتيني بلاش ونموت بالهمومين واليالي، أنا وأنا دي بكيت يالي، طول ما ننساك يرجعلي، يا ماما داوانية، أنت مشيتي وخليتيني، يا ماما كيفاش خليتيني بلاش ونموت بالهمومين واليالي، أنا وأنا دي بكيت يالي،
בחצי הלילה הם קמו והיכו בקצה העולם כבני רשף חשו הרחיקו להשיב את כבוד האדם אל ארץ צבי אל דבש שדותיה אל הכרמל והמדבר אל עם אשר לא יחשב שאת בניו לא יפקיר לשר אל ארץ צבי שבהריה פועמת עיר מדור לדור אל ארץ אם לטבורה קשורים בניה בטוב וברע בחצי הלילה עוברת בשדותינו רוח שרה ערבה אילמת תרכין אז ראש על אשר שחר לא שר אל ארץ צבי אל דבש שדותיה אל הכרמל והמדבר אל עם אשר לא יחשב שאת בניו לא יפקיר לשר אל ארץ צבי שדמעותיה נושרות על שדה חמניות שהיא צפונה וששונה הם שטיבה ערב בבגד יומה
JM in the AM, hour number one of our Wednesday broadcast, and we are in Paris. You're enjoying some phenomenal music early on. We did our opening from the Hyper Kasher or Hyper Kasher supermarket, depending on how you want to pronounce it. We were there and spent some time there yesterday. We have interviews coming up with members of the Jewish community of Paris who we spoke to both there and at the Jewish Quarter. That'll be part of this broadcast. And both Robert Ben Rimon, our chairman, and Simon Jacob are going to be joining us as we discuss this unique and interesting journey to Europe. It's hard to believe that it is finally here after months of thinking about and then arranging for this Jewish Unity Initiative to declare to the Jewish community of Paris and of France that we stand with you. And that when our brothers and sisters are in any type of challenging situation, there are others around the world, other members of the Jewish community who have great care and concern. I thank you all for tuning in. You're listening to 91.1 on the FM dial, 90.1 FM in the Catskills, Rockland County at 91.9 on the FM dial. Round the world on the web, jmintheam.org, and of course, on the NSN app. Our program from Paris continues at JM in the AM.
Al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hatshuot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Sita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hatshuot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hatshuot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh.
Many years ago there lived a king named Antiochus. He issued many harsh decrees, they were all quite atrocious. Judah Maccabee took the fight up with his brothers. Good versus bad, trade versus kosher. Now get over here, what are you doing with that safer? Get away from there, you know that learning is forbidden. Listen officer, you know I think that you're mistaken. Got my dreidel here, just playing dreidel here. Fry up some latkes, kick gifts and tchotchkes, make Bobby quail, hey, get some gal, hey, let's dance the hora, like Romanova, from left to right, hey, and in plain sight, hey, Captain one plus last miraculously go. Happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. Spin that dreidel. Happy Hanukkah. Spin that dreidel. One tiny cruise was all the Kohanim discovered. All the other oil fit for use had been celebrate. Play with your dreidel, will you get none? Gimel, shin or hay? Next gadol, hoya, shamopo. Yeah, that's what you say. Depends on where you play. Fry up some latkes, kick gifts and tchotchkes, make Bobby clear. Hey, get some gear. Hey, let's dance the hora, like Romanova, from left to right. Hey, and in plain sight. Hey, lightning one flash lasts miraculously. Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Spin that dreidel. Happy Hanukkah. Spin that dreidel. Sufganiyot. I should not have eaten 10 sufganiyot. Jelly, glazed cream, custard, filled sufganiyot. Feel like an idiot. Been vodka, shot some Pepto-Bismol, no sufganiyot. You know what I'm saying? Spin that dreidel. Happy Hanukkah. Spin that dreidel. Happy Hanukkah.
הייתי בפריז וגם ברומא, ראיתי את שבעת פלאי תבל, בקוטב הצפוני וגם דרומה, אך אין מקום כמו ארץ ישראל. וכמו גלויות של נוף יפות, תמונות בזיכרוני עפות, כמו בעד עדשה של מצלמה, בתרמילי אותן אסע לכל מקום בכל מסע, קטעי פסיפס מתוך תמונה שלמה. שלום לך ארץ נהדרת, עבדך הדל נושא לך שיר מזמור, גם אם לעתים נודד אני על דרך, מה טוב לנדוד אך טוב יותר לחזור. צריחי המגדלים בירושלים, בסמטאות השוק הצבעוני, גגות הרעפים של גבעתיים, הניבטים מבעד חלוני. את האביב בתל אביב, את סבתי ואת סבי, את החלה ואת נרות שבת, את ים המלח מול אדום ואשת לוט צופה לסדום, ואת הקיץ בואכה אילת. שלום לך ארץ נהדרת, עבדך דל נושא לך שיר מזמור, גם אם לעתים נודד אני על דרך, מה טוב לנדוד אך טוב יותר לחזור. מימיה הכחולים של הכנרת והרקיע התואם מעל, והרגשת הבית המוכרת בתוך אורכי זורמת כמו חשמל. הרי גליל והשומרון, הפרדסים שבשרון, וילדים בגן המושבה, את הכרמל ואת הים אחד אחד, ואת כולם תמיד קורצים אומרים ברוך הבא. שלום לך ארץ נהדרת, עבדך דל נושא לך שיר מזמור, גם אם לעתים נודד אני על דרך, מה טוב לנדוד אך טוב יותר לחזור.
We are in front of the Hipper Kasher supermarket, where we just did a little bit of shopping and expressed to some of the people here why we're in Paris and why it's so important that our Jewish Unity Initiative has come to Europe. And I'm standing here with my friend Patrick, who we met a few weeks ago. And first of all, Patrick, what do you remember about the attack? It was an Erev Shabbat, right? Where were you? How did you hear about it?
Yes, everybody was in front of the television, and even if it was Shabbat, everybody let television open, and we follow what's happened, and we was waiting and praying for all this poor guy die inside.
Yeah, of course. I assume it was a busy time, right? Sometimes people do wait till the last minute to shop for Shabbat. It was a very busy time.
Yeah, it's busy time, but we are a little community, a very strong community, and everybody call everybody for say, look the TV, look what happened, and everybody was waiting and praying for that.
Where are we now? This is a Jewish community. You described it to me last time that it's somewhat of a Jewish community that happens to have a kosher supermarket here. Where are we now in Paris?
Okay, we are not exactly in Paris. Paris, it's to another side of this road. So we are sticking Paris. It's a little city. The name of the city is Vincennes. And there is a famous castle here in Vincennes. And it's true that there is more and more Jewish here in Vincennes because all the popular Jewish districts are less and less, there is less and less Jewish in this district, and they go to the better place where there is less anti-Semitism.
How long did it take for Hipper Kasher to reopen?
Sorry,
How long did it take to reopen? How many weeks or how many months did it take before the store was open again?
I don't know, 3 weeks, something like that, 1 month,
weeks.
yeah.
And has there been a military presence here since then?
Yeah.
And that's not unusual in this case, right? It's not unusual that a Jewish site would have army personnel.
No, but now everywhere where there is Jewish army or there is police. So we are happy for that, but at least it's not so. It don't make us enjoy. It's.
Now you know why we're here. We call it the Jewish Unity Initiative, and that's why we're in Paris. This is a very strong Jewish community. People sometimes focus on the fact that it's getting smaller, but it's still a very, very strong, probably the most active and strong Jewish community in Europe with an incredible history. Is there still a feeling of strength here, even with all the difficulties and problems that are going on?
No, we don't feel like that. Everybody, I think that everybody wants to leave France or to leave Paris and to go in Israel, in America, in Canada. We don't feel safe like we was before, and we think that maybe it's going to be better to another place. We don't have so many hope of the France. And now after the election of yesterday, less and less. It's anti-Semitism to the left extreme right, or anti-Semitism to the Arab people in Paris. So
Was that election result expected?
expected on the extreme right, they are winning, and they take more and more place in France. And there is a major of place more and more from the extreme right. So it make afraid to everybody.
Well, Patrick, with all of this, I wish you a happy Chanukah, and we should celebrate Chanukah together in peace and unity.
Thank you very much. Chanukah Sameach likulam.
Thank you.
Hashem Elokai b'chol levavi b'chol levavi v'chamdoshim chol yohilo shimcho yohilo shimcho yohilo Oyitcho Hashem Elokai b'chol levavi b'chol levavi v'chamdoshim chol yohilo shimcho yohilo shimcho yohilo yichas lecho גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי וניצחתו נפשי משיעור תחתיון כי חסדךו גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי וניצחתו נפשי משיעור תחתיון כי חסדךו גדול עליי השם אלוהיכם בכל לבבי בכל לבבי ועבדו שמחו ליועילון שמחו ליועילון שמחו ליועילון אוי תחו השם גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי ויצרתו נפשי משיעור תחתיון כי חסדךו גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי כי חסדךו גדול עליי וניצחתו נפשי משיעור תחתיון כי חסדךו
יום בהיר פתאום שקעה השמש חושך ויתמות עמוק בנפש עומד מולך רורד כל כך לבד שמחת חיי משוש ליבי עבר החדר ריק כיסא זורק מסבל ספרים שמרכינים ראשם באבל טוב לך עכשיו אני יודע התרודד ילדי, אני צורד איתך. אחוז בידי, המשך בדרכי, אני עוד חי עמוק בתוך לבך. אני עוד חי בתוך לבך. עוד את ידך המלטפת, ברוח חוכמתך המרחפת, ולהורות קווים למול פניך. לאן אלך קשה לי בלעדיך. מדמעות הידות שוטפות דמיים, רואה בי השמיים. עוטף אותי כעוול בן קטן, נחם אותי ותן לי רק סימן לכוכב קטן מאיר, לחייך באפלה. תתעודד ילדי, אני צורד איתך. אחוז בידי, המשך בדרכי, אני עוד חי עמוק בתוך לבך. וכוכב קטן מאיר, מחייך באפלה. התרודד ילדי, אני צורד איתך. אחוז בידי, המשך בדרכי, אני עוד חי עמוק בתוך לבך. אני עוד חי בתוך לבך.
כשאני חושב לאן נפנה עכשיו כשרע לי, מנסה להתנער מכל מה שקרה לי. שוב אני עומד בצד, חושב על העבר, רק רוצה להיזכר בכל מה שעזר. בתפילה קורא אני לך, זורק עוד בשמך, אלוקיי ענני, כי אתה עוזר תמיד לכל, שומע את הקול שמתפלל אליך. בתפילה קורא אני לך, זורק עוד בשמך, אלוקיי ענני, כי אתה עוזר תמיד לכל, שומע את הקול שמתפלל אליך. לפעמים בבוקר עוד השמש לא חיכה לי, עננים רק מעיבים על היום שעוד לא בא לי. עכשיו אני רועד שואל מתי כל זה נגמר, ועם כל זה חושב אני מתי יבוא מחר. בתפילה קורא אני לך, זורק עוד בשמך, אלוקיי ענני, כי אתה עוזר תמיד לכל, שומע את הקול שמתפלל אליך. בתפילה קורא אני לך, זורק עוד בשמך, אלוקיי ענני,
It's America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, heard on listeners-sponsored WFMU East Orange, WMFU Mount Hope, Rockland County at 91.9 on the FM dial, broadcasting live from Paris, France. Around the world on the web, jmam.org, and of course on the NSN app.
בשמחס קלו, שמחס חוסון קלו, שמחו של מצוות, אין השמחו שליימו, אלו בשמחס קלו, שמחס חוסון קלו, שמחו של מצוות, שמח תשמח, רגימו אהובים כשמחו, יציחו בגני אלו בשמחס קלו, שמחס חוסון קלו, שמחו של מצוות, אין השמחו שליימו, אלו בשמחס קלו, שמחס חוסון קלו, שמחו של מצוות. Gan Eden mikeder Sameach tesamach Regimo ahuvim Kesamechacho Yetzicho Began Eden mikeder Taradam taradam tam taradam taradam tam taradam taradam tam taradam tam Sameach tesamach Regimo
It's the JM and the AM radio broadcast for Wednesday. We are in Paris, and there you go. There were some nice levels. We're in Paris, and we are getting very excited because tonight is the centerpiece of the Jewish Unity Initiative. We're going to be at the Le Victoire, the great synagogue of Paris. And Ohad, who you just heard, we have said many, many times over the last few weeks, has been instrumental in moving this project forward and understanding the goal and making sure that we had amazing cooperation on so many different fronts so we can get this incredible event off the ground. So here we are in Paris, France. Had a very interesting Tuesday, to say the least. And you'll be hearing some of those actualities, some of the clips that we recorded on the streets of Paris. The show, as you heard about an hour ago, opened with my show opening from Hyper Kasher, the Hyper Kasher supermarket where the terrorist attack took place on the heels of the Charlie Hebdo attack. Many of us, of course, remember that Friday back in January when right before Shabbos, the Hyper Kasher supermarket was attacked. That's where we did the opening to the show today, and we had an opportunity to speak with some of the people, including a shopper who you'll hear at some point, who was among the first shoppers to return once the supermarket was renovated, once they went through all its renovations after the attack. We had the opportunity on Tuesday to visit the Jewish Quarter, one that is now much more active than it was a couple of weeks ago. It's obvious from those who we spoke with that the activity level over the last few weeks since the attack of the 13th of November has been at a minimum compared to what it is normally. And we had an opportunity to speak to some of those people and get their feelings. There are a couple of very, very active themes among those who we speak to in Paris. One theme is the strength and vibrancy of the Jewish community and how they are, in some ways, ready to persevere, ready to move on. But on the other side, and maybe I would say even on a much more active, in a much more active manner, is the feeling that is pervasive in Paris among the Jewish community, especially in light of the elections this week and, of course, the terror attack of 3 weeks ago, that many people question their own future in the Jewish community of Paris. We are not here to question the future of the community. We know how important it is to strengthen the communities of the diaspora, especially the large ones. This is a message that we've been carrying forth. It's a message that Naftali Bennett in the Office of Diaspora Affairs has been carrying forth. So we understand the importance of all that. But nonetheless, there is a movement, a feeling, a certain atmosphere that's been created where people are questioning whether they should stay in Paris, in France, or move to places like the United States, Canada, or Israel. And we know that those countries are now enjoying a larger French immigration for that very reason. So we were there at the site of the attack, the supermarket, and we were speaking with some of the people there. We were in the Jewish Quarter, as I mentioned. We were at what is generally known by reputation as the best falafel place on the planet, even better than some in Israel, and that was a really full, bustling restaurant, I must say. And we had the opportunity to stop by one of the memorials, a memorial that was set up in the aftermath of the terror attack of Friday night, November the 13th, when, in this case, terrorists shot up a restaurant. And it is obvious from the scene that we saw, and I'll share some of that with you a little later on, from the scene that we saw and the memorial, the candles, the flowers, the pictures, the poems, the drawings that were left at the scene, it's obvious that that episode, and that was just one part of a series of episodes that evening, left a very strong mark on the Parisian community. And as I said during that segment, we don't just stand with our brothers and sisters who, of course, are so close and dear to us. We do stand with them, but not only with them, but with all upstanding citizens of this world who want nothing more than to live in peace and harmony. And it seems that based on the memorial that we saw, that a lot of people were really affected and touched by the events, by the episode, by the collective terror that was pervading this area. And we hope that this message of unity extends even beyond the Jewish community, but really goes to those who want peace and harmony on this earth. JM in the AM. We are in hour number 2 on this Wednesday morning. Tonight at Le Victoire, tonight at the Great Synagogue of Paris, people like Yehoram Gaon and Ohad and Itzik Dadya and Uzia Tzadok and Amir Haddad and Avi Miller and Gershon Freistadt and an amazing symphonic orchestra from Israel under the leadership of David Fadida are going to be in the main sanctuary and are going to turn that main sanctuary into a Hanukkah celebration, one that I am proud to have a part of. And as I said earlier, there are so many people that have really gone beyond the call of duty to make sure that this would be a successful event. And to those who have expressed enthusiasm, to those who have cheered us on and have asked us to keep them in mind as this whole mission takes place, I thank you. The Jewish Unity Initiative, as it's now formally known, has its roots in what we've done in what I like to call a get up and go way, that when Jewish communities are in some type of danger, we try to go and highlight the situation and let people know what's happening. And this, of course, has played very well in the United States and Israel over the years, especially in Israel, where we don't get an opportunity to really connect. So many people never get a chance to go and really connect with the people there, so we do that for you. And now, because of what happened a year ago, and because of the situation in France, and because it's such a vibrant and incredible Jewish community in France, the largest Jewish community in all of Europe, we felt this was the time. This was the time to go, show solidarity, increase the brotherhood and sisterhood, and let people know one very simple message. When you are in a challenging situation, Jews around the world care and want to make sure they can make a difference. And that is what's behind the symbolism and the practicality of a journey like this. More tomorrow morning, by the way, when we have an opportunity after the concert to speak with some of the people that were part of it, and to speak to some of the people who have been instrumental as part of it, and to speak to some of the people who were affected in a positive manner by all of this. We are looking forward to that tomorrow on JM and the AM between 6 and 9 a.m. Also want to remind everybody that this concert that we keep talking about will be available on our website, homepage of NachumSegal.com, where you normally view videos that are posted to our homepage. On the homepage of NachumSegal.com, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today. 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, you'll be able to see what's happening inside the Great Synagogue. There will be presentations and speeches and a candle lighting that will be very touching, because I believe it's going to include the families of those who are related to those who perished in the terror attack at Hyper Kasher. And there'll be plenty of music as well. It'll be an amazing lineup, an incredible Hanukkah celebration in the heart of Paris during a very, very challenging time. So make sure to join us and be part of this incredible experience. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Nachum Segal Network. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Nachum Segal Net, and make sure to be watching NachumSegal.com today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. As the day goes on, there'll be more and more music as part of that video presentation, which I think you'll find fascinating, from the Great Synagogue of Paris. More coming up. Keep it right here at JM in the AM. We are at 91.1 FM, 90.1 FM in the Catskills. Rockland County at 91.9 in the FM dial. Around the world on the web, jmintheam.org.
There's a light in the window that shines across the years. It's a light that can't be dimmed, though it may be blurred by tears. There's a light in the darkness that's lasted for so long. It's the light of the Torah and those who know her song. There's a light in the window that burns into the night. It's a light that can't be dimmed, though at times we may lose sight. There's a light when you're surrounded and you need some way to rise. It's the light within the children and the truth that's in their eyes. Shine on, little candles, softly, softly glow. You've the power to enlighten and let the whole world know that the light of the menorah in the temple of your soul is the light that was hidden in a garden long ago. across the years. It's a light that can't be dimmed though. It's often blurred by tears. There's a light in this exile that's lasted for so long. It's the light of a new day and the coming of the dawn. There's a light in the window that burns into the night. It's a light that can't be dimmed though. At times we may lose sight. There's a light when you're surrounded and you need some way to rise. It's the light within the children and the truth that's in their eyes. Shine on the little candles, softly, softly glow. You've the power to enlighten and let the whole world know that the light of the menorah that was hidden long ago is the light that's always with you. Oh, it's shining in your soul. It's the light that's always with you, for it's shining in your soul. It's the light that's always with you, for it's shining in your soul.
Zu chaim ois meg de lai Betim u kol ashmanim Yivonim nik pitu alai Azai bi me chashmanim Far zu chaim ois meg de lai Betim u kol ashmanim Umirai sakan kanim Risani slash shanim B'nei vino yim mish moida kam Shiru nanim Umirai sakan kanim Risani slash shanim B'nei vino yim mish moida kam Shiru nanim As I be made chashmanim Before to chai mice make the light Betim who call ashmanim As I be made chashmanim Before to chai mice make the light Betim who call ashmanim Umina sakan kanim Nasoni slash shanim B'nei noyim mish moina kav Ushiru nonim Umina sakan kanim Nasoni slash shanim B'nei noyim mish moina kav Ushiru nonim Kav Ushiru nonim Kav Ushiru nonim
הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. בימים ההם בזמן הזה. ימלא גבורות ישראל אותן מי ימנה הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. מי ימלא גבורות ישראל אותן מי ימנה הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. שמע בימים ההם בזמן הזה מכבי מושיע ובודד ימינו כל עם ישראל יתאחד יקום ויגאל. וימלא גבורות ישראל אותן מי ימנה הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
C'est vivant, c'est vivant. Spin it down, c'est vivant, c'est vivant. So, c'est vivant, so. Hanukkah hu chatov, Hanukkah hu chatov. C'est vivant, so. Chag simcha hu la'am, nes gadol haya sham, nes gadol haya sham. Chag simcha hu la'am, c'est vivant, so. Hanukkah hu chatov, Hanukkah hu chatov. C'est vivant, so.
I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Al hanisim ve'al hapolkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hatshuvot ve'al hamilchamot. Mi yemale gvurot Yisrael otan mi yimne ein bechol dor yakum hagiבור goel ha'am. Mi yemale gvurot Yisrael otan mi yimne ein bechol dor yakum hagiבור goel ha'am.
They call that Sam Glazer's Chanukah, Rockin' Chanukah medley here at JM in the AM. Happy Chanukah, everybody. Chag Urim Sameach, a Freilich and Chanukah. Hope your Chanukah has been amazing so far and that your Suf Ganiyot and dreidel games and candle lighting have gone really nicely and smoothly. We are here in Paris. It's a Wednesday JM in the AM as we get ready for tonight's amazing event. It'll be at the Great Synagogue, of course. The Jewish Unity Initiative, which we take very seriously, is now in the city of Paris, is making its mark in Europe after the success that we've had within both the United States and Israel. And everybody out there who has been so enthusiastic, who has been encouraging us to forge ahead with this project, even with the recent terror attacks in Paris, we say thank you. And here we are on Chanukah 5776 with some wonderful people traveling with a very impressive delegation from the United States, welcoming incredible artists and a wonderful team from Israel, and of course being part of the Jewish community of Paris for a few days as we remind them that it's time to celebrate. That's the whole point of tonight's gathering, is to celebrate Jewish life, to celebrate the holiday of Chanukah, and to be together with this one message that when our brothers and sisters are in challenging situations, we, as their brothers and sisters, care, have concern, and as we like to say, or we don't like to say it, but as we've always said, the collective Jewish heart aches when things like that occur. So everybody out there, I thank you for your support. I thank you for your encouragement. We will continue here at JM in the AM as we get closer and closer to tonight's event. I remind you that if you go to NachumSegal.com at 2 p.m. today, that video is going to be on our homepage and you'll be able to see what's happening in Paris. You could actually go to the website, NachumSegal.com, to see the conversations that we're going to be having this morning as well. That'll be on the homepage. And to make sure to follow for social media, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, Nachum Segal Network. On Twitter, at Nachum Segal Net. So you can see the photos and be caught up on what's happening. Interspersed in the next 90 minutes, we will have some of the visits that we had with people in the Jewish quarter, with shoppers at the Hyper Kasher supermarket, and a look through their eyes, through their perspective of Jewish life here in Paris. We continue to celebrate, rightfully so, how incredible a community it is, how vital it is to the past, present, and future of the Jewish people in Europe. But there are people with obviously great trepidation. There are people with great concern. And we will speak about that coming up right here at JM in the AM. Rabbi David Goldwasser's words, Zecher Nishmas Rav Zebin Yosef Alevi and Esther Basar Yosef Alevi. Here is Rabbi David Goldwasser with Morning Chizuk.
Good morning. Concerning the great miracle of Chanukah, the Sfas Emes asks, why was it established that the Chanukah menorah should be placed by the doorway? Why not place it somewhere else in the home? We know that there's a precedent that Hashem will never leave us in the world without light. The Sfas Emes explains that the days of Chanukah represent an opening, a beginning of the Geula Shalema, the complete redemption. It is for that reason that before the destruction of the Holy Temple, great preparations were made in heaven to ensure that there would be a vestige of light remaining from the menorah. That vestige of light is present when we light our menorah. The word Chanukah is derived from the shoresh, the root, chinuch, education. The Yom Tov is meant to teach us how to light the menorah in the future when the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt. We put the menorah at the door to symbolize our devotion to Hashem's promise. Pischu li Pesach kechudash al-machat. Open for me the door, the size of the eye of a needle, and I will open for you the great door of the Beis HaMikdash, of the Holy Temple. The holiday of Chanukah gives us hope that despite what transpires in this long exile, we can continue, we will live on, we will kindle the light of hope, we will rededicate ourselves to Torah in the observance of mitzvos. Around the world, we are all gathered to stand in unity today with our brothers and sisters in France. We know that we are all inextricably bound. We share a common destiny and a dream for the future. We feel the pain of your trials and tribulations. We empathize with Achenu B'nai Yisrael at this time. Only the brilliance and dedication of Nachum Segal could conceive a Jewish Unity Initiative to be our symbolic light in the doorway. We ask Hashem to shed the light of peace and tranquility throughout the world and to end all suffering. We pray that the light that has been kindled today through this initiative will pave the way for the light of the future redemption. We salute French Jewry and all the good citizens of France. We mourn those who gave their lives al Kiddush Hashem and pray for a bright and glorious future. The great Rav Levi Yitzchok of Berditchev once said, "When the Torah scroll is sewn together, it becomes holy, and it's forbidden to erase even one letter in it. But when it is still in several panels, you could still make an erasure." The letters represent the neshamas of Klal Yisrael. When we are in unity, none can be blotted out. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of our listeners around the world a very happy and joyous Hanukkah. Nous sommes avec vous. This has been Rabbi David Goldwasser bringing you Morning Chizuk.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Goldwasser. A very happy Hanukkah to you, and thank you for recognizing what this initiative is all about. It is much appreciated. We say happy Hanukkah. Shalshelis Jr., Robert Ben Rimon, chairman of our event, is coming up next with plenty of people to thank and a lot of information about what's happening in the city of Paris. Getting ready for the big Jewish Unity Initiative concert happening at the Great Synagogue tonight, Wednesday, Chanukah, fourth night of Chanukah. Let there be light. A concert of Jewish unity. Okay, we are here in Paris, and we are sitting in Les du Falafel. As our chairman, Robert Ben Rimon, told me, that's how it's pronounced. And Les du Falafel, de Falafel, thank you, Robert, has an unbelievable number of people sitting here during lunch hour, and it's just incredible. It looks like all types of Jews, all types of people who are just enjoying this incredible restaurant here at the Jewish Quarter. We can call it the Jewish Quarter in Paris. Jeremy is from Paris, and Jeremy speaks English. And at least somewhat, he says he speaks English. And he can give us a little bit of a perspective on what's going on here. Jeremy, first of all, welcome to the show. Is it like this every day?
Hi. No. Yes, chaque jour. Yes, every day is like this. Every day is like this. It's busy. It's famous place. Very good falafel. It's the best falafel in Paris and maybe in the world.
How did it get this reputation as because we've heard about it in New York, how did it get this reputation as the best falafel in the world, especially when it's competing against Israel?
I don't know. Some people come every year. It's since 1979. It's open. Every people come every year and speak about this. I don't know. It's like this.
What does it say about this store being this restaurant being so active? We know that it's been very difficult times for the people of Paris recently and for the Jewish community over the last couple of years. What does it mean that there's so many people willing to come out and enjoy a day like this together in the restaurant?
Un petit peu.
Comment ça se fait, les gens, ils n'ont pas peur de venir sortir après qu'est-ce qui s'est passé avant un mois et c'est craqué et quand même il y en a des millions de personnes.
Je pense que les gens, in English, okay. I think people little bit scared to come in the restaurant. Now it was 1 month ago, yes. The life change, yes. But the rice continue. Comment on dit continue? Continues, yes. You need to continue to, yes, goes on. Exactly. Life goes on. Just after the terrorist attack, it was very quiet. Yes, empty. But now, ça reprend. It's.
So you've noticed a big difference in the last couple of weeks, right? A lot more people now than there were right after the attack.
Yes, ça recommence. Ouais, ça recommence. Ça reprend. Petit à petit, ça reprend.
That, it's back to normal literally, and that's the way you used to have the restaurant packed like that because it's the best falafel, and they're like competing with Israel, but I still think it's one of the best falafel in the world.
Jeremy, merci, and thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Et bon appétit.
disappearing. Az egmor bishir mezmor Chanukah hamizbeach az egmor bishir mezmor Chanukah hamizbeach.
JM and the AM, we're standing here with David here in the Jewish Quarter in Paris. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Could you tell us what life has been like over the last year or so here for people, for Jewish people in Paris?
Really strange, really straight cities. We don't know where to go. We are not feeling really safe here because we are seeing it's not just from 1 year ago. It became from 10 years ago with so many little stuffs. What's happened in the synagogues? At the beginning it was rocks on the synagogues or some just words against the Jewish community. And slowly it became really strong, and we've gone really far. And I don't know where we will go now.
Is the community?
It's going to be, I think, more hard and hard. מגרוע לעוד יותר גרוע.
It's going to get worse and worse, you're saying. Is the community staying together? Is the community feeling?
Always. We are a community. We are strong here because we are everybody together. We are not a lot of a French population because France it's something like 70 million people, and the Jewish communities it's something like 600,000 people. But why we are strong like that? This is because we are a community working together, helping one and one, family with family. We are praying together, religious and not religious guys. But we have an identity. We are Jewish before French.
Understood. It must be somewhat difficult to balance the fact that you're a strong community and at the same time feeling all this pressure from the outside, from other elements that are here in the community. Is that difficult for you? Is it difficult to stay strong when you're in a situation like this, or is it easier to stay strong when you're?
To stay strong now, because we are strong, and in the difficulty you become more strong. But you're asking to yourself some questions. If you have to stay here, if you have to go to US, because we know that US is good to be Jewish in US or in Israel, but I don't think it anywhere. France, I think it's done for us. We saw it so many times, and it's gonna be more and more. It will not stop.
What's this?
Against the Jewish, and if it's not against the Jewish, we'll be against the French people. And the French governments begin to understand what's happened here, because this is not just the Jewish now. They are not fighting just the Jewish. They are now against the French people, against the French flag. And it's like that from 1,000 years. Always in every state, every country, we are beating the Jews before and after the Jews. This is something else. But the Jews, this is the always Jewish community. It's always the first community that the enemy beating on it. I don't know saying it in English, but
we understand the attack. What's this area been like, the Jewish Quarter, over the last few weeks, especially since the attacks of that Friday night? Is this now finally coming back to life?
Or chance that it was Shabbat, so there is something in it, something really strong that it was Shabbat. So a lot of Jewish was at home, but the area closed Shabbat here, except the shops and everything. But it stay like it's not like a long time ago that every shop's Jewish, kosher, library, butchers and everything. There is a lot of fashion shops, but it stay like a center of the Jewish community. Everybody's coming here to eat or to buy some books or talits or something else. And all the Parisians know that if they have to move like to see Chinese in Chinatown. If they want to visit Jewish quarters or something Jewish, they are coming to here.
This is the place.
Yeah, this is the place. It's not a big place. It's not Brooklyn, but this is our place. It's like that.
How do you know English so well?
ESPN.
Very good answer. A pleasure meeting you, David. Chazak v'amatz.
With pleasure. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Kulam tzadikim, Li'olam Yeshua haaretz. Neiter matoai, Maseh yodai lehispoer. Li'amet kulam tzadikim, Li'olam Yeshua haaretz. Neiter matoai, Maseh yodai lehispoer. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba.
Kulam tzadikim, Li'olam Yeshua haaretz. Neiter matoai, Maseh yodai
Li'amet kulam tzadikim, Li'olam Yeshua haaretz. Neiter matoai, Maseh yodai lehispoer. Kol Yisrael, yesh lohem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lohem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lohem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. I call Yisrael, yesh lohem, yesh lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, lam chayilek li'olam haba. I call Yisrael, yesh lahem, lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, lam chayilek li'olam haba. Kol Yisrael, yesh lahem, lam chayilek li'olam haba.
JM in the AM. That's brand new Baruch Levine. It is Chanukah 5776. And tonight, with an incredible lineup, we are going to be at the Great Synagogue of Paris with an amazing Jewish unity concert, the concert of Jewish unity, Let There Be Light. The concept is well known to our listeners at this point. It must be very, very difficult to be in a situation where every time there is an event of importance to the Jewish world, everyone thinks you should be the chairman. It must be a very, very difficult situation where every time someone comes up with a great idea for a great cause, everyone thinks this person must be the chairman. I am going to give myself credit in this case because Mr. Robert Ben Rimon, who is involved in more causes than anybody will ever be able to imagine, and some of them we've had the opportunity to speak about on the air. When this was first considered, and it was obvious that the Jews of Paris would be the target of our love and affection, it was so obvious to me that this man would be the perfect chairman. And when we went to his office, and he had no idea what we were going to discuss with him, we went to his office, proposed this idea, and I guarantee you, he has been proposed so many ideas when it comes to dinners and events. When we went to his office and proposed this idea, he lit up knowing that we were 100% right, that there is no better chairman for this part of the Jewish Unity Initiative. Mr. Robert Ben Rimon, who is traveling with an amazing delegation from West Orange, New Jersey, and leading an incredibly important and focused United States delegation. Welcome back to JM in the AM.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup for having me. And now that I say a few French words, it's really the perfect place. And on top of it, it's beautiful. You know, we say Paris, c'est la ville de lumière. It means Paris is the city of light. And what's the best things could be to be in the city of light in the Chag of the light of Hanukkah. So it's really exciting for me, and I'm amazed. And Baruch Hashem, I'm here also with my mentor and my best friend, and he's actually also was responsible for it. It's Simon Jacob.
Of course.
When I heard that Simon, I said, Simon, are you coming? I said, okay, if Simon coming, I'm in, put me in. Especially for such an important mission. And in actuality, you did approach me before all those terrible events.
Right.
And I thought you're just going to hit me for a donation, and that's it. But Baruch Hashem, I'm getting my money and my donation worth every penny of it. And it's very, very exciting, especially after spending a unique day here in Paris.
The importance of this mission and the vital aspect to it must be so obvious to you because of your history here. Nobody knows, certainly not in our circles, knows what the Jewish community of Paris means to the Jewish world like you do. One of the first things you told us when you first joined us on the air, you said, do you realize, Nachum, that this is the capital of all dispersed Jews?
Correct.
If you're a Parisian Jew, you are from, and you could list tens of places, right?
Correct. And surprisingly also, when I discussed with my wife, which is my Eshes Chayil, I want to thank her this opportunity to let me go. It was fascinating that I kept on thinking, I thought it's only the North African Jews from Tunis, Morocco, and Libya. I discovered also that Sheila's aunt, my wife's aunt, lived here from 1945 to 1955 as a shelter for all the Jews of the ghetto.
Right.
So I think France itself played a bigger role than what we think as a bridge base for a shelter for all the Jews.
Right.
Also, Naomi Berg's mother was here for 10 years, and I had the opportunity to speak to her, and she spoke to me fluently French. I said, how come you're speaking so fluently? She said, I lived 10 years. I went from Poland. I came directly to Paris.
Yeah. Robert Ben Rimon chairing our event, our American delegation. We spent, you just said, a very interesting, I forgot the word you used, but it was a very interesting day in Paris. And there's no question we are trying very hard to stay on message about how important this community is to the Jewish diaspora. Nonetheless, it is obvious from the people we spoke to on the street, and you facilitated that because you speak French, thank God. it is obvious from the people we spoke to on the street that there is a trepidation, a fear, a wondering what the future's going to bring. How difficult is it for someone like yourself to see this balancing act where you're so proud of the vibrancy of this community and its history, and at the same time you hear people who are so desperate for an answer about the future?
Amazingly enough, I could see interacting today with a few people, especially in the restaurant and even in Hyper Kosher. There was some, you could see on their eyes, they were thirsty for visitors, by the way.
Right.
And
good point.
I got the feeling that they really appreciate us coming in here.
Yep.
And show solidarity with them. Simon and I this morning got up. We were a little bit confused. We went to one synagogue. You weren't there.
You went to another one.
We went to another, and the beautiful synagogue. And you could see they realized that we are foreigner, we are not from here. But right away they opened their arm. This guy said, "Please, you can daven here. You don't have to go there."
Right.
And they were really. You can see from probably all the trauma they had in the past month, especially, that they're really thirsty for somebody to hear them, somebody to understand, and for them to understand that they are in a different path right now.
Yeah.
Not what it used to be. I mean, honestly, for me, to visit that kosher place, the Hyper Kosher, and see so many guards was like really a spooky feeling.
Was that the first time you were there since the attack?
Yes. And more so, even in one of the second synagogue we visit, there was like about 10 army guys there.
Right.
And I said to myself, and I'm thinking about Israel.
Right.
Tel Aviv, אין שום דבר כזה. There is nothing like that. Jerusalem, there is sometimes, but the magic in Israel, Baruch Hashem, the Israelis, and I'm so proud to be Israeli that we're dealing with crisis for so many years, and we became resilient. In Israel, when there is an attack, you 10 minutes later will pass by there, you won't think even there was attack.
Right.
It's cleaned up, spick and span, like nothing happened, to make sure that everything is life continue. However, I think one of the interviewers today said something very, very important. First of all, the unity that we had, all of us thinks it's a miracle, probably connected to Hanukkah, because it happened on Shabbat.
Right. Friday night was the big
Friday
attack,
night was the attack. There wasn't
November 13th.
And everybody I spoke with today,
They
the
all
first
mentioned
word
it.
they said, "C'était pas au Shabbat," which means it didn't happen on Shabbat.
Even those who are not religious
Even
Jews said
though, more modern Jews,
They got it.
And they were really, but together with it, I felt when they look at Simon, they look at me, they look at you, there was some kind of, we need support here.
Yeah, no question about it.
And I really felt it.
Robert Ben Rimon is with us. One of the things I'm going to discuss with Simon later in the show is we've had the opportunity to do this in Israel, and just like he does, that people, not only do they appreciate the visits, but they expect it at this point. In Israel, they expect it. Here, we got the idea, like, you came to see us?
Yes.
You came to check on us?
Absolutely.
And that fellow, I think it was in the Jewish Quarter, I think it was that interview, he said, you should be, I don't know if it was him, maybe it was the woman in Hyper Kosher. I think it was the woman.
The woman was phenomenal.
She said, you could be doing this in any city in the world.
Correct.
You could be visiting any Jewish community in any city in the world at this point, because everybody's in a very difficult and challenging situation.
She stated very smartly and very wisely. She said in English, and I thought she repeated in French, she said, the Jews all over the world right now going through a major hard time.
Right.
All the way from Israel. And it's hard time that, for me also, when I thought about it a little bit, it's like the second evil coming up.
Right.
Was the Nazi era, and now this is a whole new era that it's not such an easy way to deal with, all the way from what's happening in Israel.
No question.
But the good news, the great news, we're going to show unity. We're showing unity. And the best things you could have done for that, and Chazak u'Baruch to you, is bring Yoram Gaon. Yoram Gaon is a guy that was born in Jerusalem, live in Jerusalem, and it's like bringing Jerusalem to Paris.
See, I said, and I think I said this to you the first time we spoke about it, I said to myself when he was available, I don't think there is anybody in the world who has touched every Jew musically. I think from the most Hasidic to the most secular, everybody in some way, whether they know it or not, a lot of people may not even realize it, have been touched by the music of Yoram Gaon. Who better to represent Jewish unity? In the center of the world, in Paris, the center of the European world, certainly, European Jewish world. No question about it. And the lineup is from Israel, as you know, which makes it extra special. We're here from the United States.
One of his famous songs, Nachum, is Mi Yesh Lo Kavod, Who Have an Honor. And, you know, it's a great mission to bring probably the kavod back to all the Jews all over the world.
Right. It's interesting you say that, by the way. One of the things that we learned in the French Jewish Quarter today is that, and I think it was the gentleman David who said it, is that there's such a desperate feeling of loneliness. Correct. They were afraid to go back out, difficult to deal with the shock and the aftershock of what happened just a few weeks ago, in addition, of course, to the Jewish community being a target, as we know, a year ago. And it was sort of like, you know, thank goodness for Hanukkah. Thank goodness a little bit of time has elapsed. And now people, as you saw today, are starting to really
go back to
lot,
normal.
I will tell you, compared to 2 weeks ago, there's a lot more traffic in Paris than there was 2 weeks ago.
That falafel today place was so delicious, by the way. He was packed. But honestly, they told us clearly that, you know...
Right. Just Rak Matchil, right? It's just starting. It's just starting to come back.
In actuality, this Rue Montmartre, that's where we were today,
right.
It's the main street where all the kosher market, on all the boulangerie and all the patisserie can you buy, and some famous restaurants are there. It looked like the guy told me it's starting just this past week, coming back alive again.
Right.
And the falafel was delicious.
It certainly was.
They're competing with Ben Yehuda in Israel.
And they're doing a good job at it. Yes. So that's the main thoroughfare of the Jewish Quarter. Obviously a great history. And I hear the fashion industry is also around there now.
Absolutely.
This is something that you're an expert at.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I pointed out to you that it just seems that the whole atmosphere here is one of they take presentation very seriously. And you did say to me that the grass is always greener, and maybe I'm just not realizing that it's like this in the rest of the world. But there's something about this culture which is interesting to watch.
Yeah, Nachum, the truth is that Paris especially was leading in arts. You know, all the biggest masters came when they study in Paris.
Right.
All the biggest fashion, like Yves Saint Laurent and all of those, Hermes and Chanel 5. I mean, Chanel 5, you go everywhere.
Straight from Paris.
Straight for Paris. A Chanel bag, you have a waiting list for a year. It's insane. It is the capital of the fashion after New York. New York caught up to them probably in the past 10 years, but until 10 years ago, definitely, I can reassure you, even all the movies about the Devil Watch Prada or whatever, it happened here in Paris. And the culinary schools, the best top of the schools. If you see the small presentation, you get an espresso, you get a small cookie. It's a nice touch.
Right.
It's a presentation, I'm looking at some in the hotel room. I'm observing because this is my industry.
Right.
And I see some Lalique vases in a hotel. Everything has to do with fashion, and really they were the driving force until today with the fashion industry.
Right.
And in food, it's always was the best food, the best. You go even in the supermarket today, they had some stuff there that the typical supermarket does
We
not
would
have.
never have it.
We'll never have something like that. You know, the way also they present the chicken, it makes you
Right.
really, I want to
Much more appetizing.
buy it. It's much more appetizing. Presentation.
I mean, we were in what people would call a butcher shop.
A butcher shop,
And it had a presentation about it.
Amazing,
It's just-
amazing. What we bought there, you know, even eggs of of fish,
right?
That you will never think to eat. Liver, I don't eat in the state liver ever. Here they present the liver so nice, and the whole presentation of the food was phenomenal.
No question about it. Robert Ben Rimon, he is chairing our American delegation. You'll be speaking at the event, Bezrat Hashem.
Bezrat Hashem, Bezrat Hashem.
I know your message is pretty simple. What's important to us is that you're representing us in the French language, which is very important
Merci
to us.
beaucoup, merci beaucoup.
And the message is pretty simple. If there's anything that we've collectively been able to agree on, and there's a lot of things we agree on, but one of the things certainly is that we're trying to bring this message of unity to Paris and let them know that if they're in any type of challenging situation, like any Jewish community in the world, there are other Jews who care about them.
Absolutely, and the slogan should be "Nous sommes avec vous,"
which means
it means we are together with you as a
yes,
family.
Exactly.
You are our brothers and our sisters. We are together with you, and by all means, Nahum, I walked with you today. I saw people, some young people was mumbling, who are they? And when they heard that we are here to comfort them with that
It meant something to
concert,
them.
it meant a lot with the concert, really. I thank you so much. In this opportunity, I want to say hi to my immediate family, especially to my grandkids that I really miss them. Chag Chanukah Sameach. And thank you, my dear wife Sheila, again for letting me come in such an important Chag.
Not easy being away for Chanukah. All of us can attest to that, but we're glad you're here. Tadar Rabba.
Thank you, Tadar.
Robert Ben Rimon, Simon Jacob joins us next. Plenty more coming up. Keep it right here at JM in the AM.
Everywhere there's darkness at night. Let's bring out the light. Let's learn to fight. Keishechad now, berevechad then. We have to be strong. Look into the soul of the world. Listen to the songs every word. There is a meaning to be found. From a small detail we can see to the best person we can be. There's a prayer and a hope we can achieve. Let's get our hands together. Let's try to become much better for our Creator. Let's praise Hashem with no doubt. Let's thank Hashem for His love. He is our Father in heaven. Every time we look everywhere, there's darkness at night. Let's bring out the light. Let's learn to fight. Keishechad now, berevechad then. We have to be strong. Every time we look everywhere, there's darkness at night. Let's bring out the light. Let's learn to fight. Keishechad now, berevechad then. We have to be strong. There's so much more to be done. There's never time to be gone. The world is running just for us. It's time to find our mission, accomplish with ambition. Our soul is waiting just for us. Let's get our hands together. Let's try to become much better for our Creator. Let's pray together with love. Let's ask for help from above. Hashem is here for us. Every time we look everywhere, there's darkness at night. Let's bring out the light. Let's learn to fight. Keishechad now, berevechad then. We have to be strong. Every time we look everywhere, there's darkness at night. Let's bring out the light. Let's learn to fight. Keishechad now, berevechad then. We have to be strong.
America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, heard on listeners-sponsored WFMU East Orange, WMFU Mount Hope, Rockland County at 91.9 on the FM dial, broadcasting today from Paris, France, with the Jewish Unity Initiative. Around the world on the web, jmnam.org, and of course on the NSN app. We're here at the Hiper Kasher supermarket where the attack occurred in January of 2015, just less than a year ago. And Amelia is with us. You remember the attack very well.
Yes, I do always my shopping here, so I'm very used here, and I'm very emotional to come back here after what happened last year, last month, few months ago, and I think it's very important for us to come back and to continue to live like a Jew in Paris.
How soon after the attack were you here? How soon after did you shop here?
I was one of the first customer here when they opened again.
When they reopened the store. And what has this done? What has this attack done to the Jewish community? And including what happened 3 weeks ago, what has all this done to the Jewish community and the feeling of being here in Paris, France?
I think that what the problem of hypercacher become, it was the first time that the government understand really what happens for the Jews. A few years ago, when it happens for Toulouse, Jonathan Sandler and the 3 children were killed and nobody said anything. And I think the government really understand what happens for the Jew when the hypercacher has the problem of hypercacher has gone. So now our children goes to the school with the army before, and with what happens few weeks ago, I think that all the France understand now, because it's not only Jew, it's all French people are in danger. But we have the faith that everything will be everywhere. We are afraid, so we continue to live here.
You know, we are here because we are trying to promote Jewish unity, and declare that if Jews in one part of the world are in challenging situations, there are other Jews who care about them. What do you think of that?
I think that Jews everywhere they are in danger. So you can go in America, in England, or in Israel. We have exactly the same. So you have to be a Jew everywhere you are.
100%. Thank you so much for joining us.
כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום, ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום, בזכות כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום, ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום. השם שלח לנו מיד, אליהו הנביא עבדך, ושגה למלך המושיע, מלך המושיע. השם שלח לנו מיד, אליהו הנביא עבדך, ושגה למלך המושיע, מלך המושיע. בזכות כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום, ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום, בזכות כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום, ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום. השם שלח לנו מיד, אליהו הנביא עבדך, ושגה למלך המושיע, מלך המושיע. השם שלח לנו מיד, אליהו הנביא עבדך, ושגה למלך המושיע,
Well, we've mentioned just how incredibly helpful Ohad has been in terms of the Jewish Unity Initiative. There he is with Kol HaTzadikim from the CD entitled Segula, and I thank Yoram Gaon and Ohad and Itzik Dadya and Uzia Tzadok and Avi Miller and Amir Haddad, all of whom are part of the Jewish Unity Initiative presentation at the Great Synagogue of Paris tonight. You can watch the entire thing on our homepage at NachumSegal.com beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And Gershon Freistadt and the incredible symphonic orchestra from Israel and David Fadida and his staff essentially, and I saw this earlier today and then we got some pictures afterwards. I saw it live earlier today and we got some pictures afterwards. Essentially, they have transformed the Great Synagogue of Paris into an incredible concert atmosphere. So yes, it continues with the amazing charm that it has. The Great Synagogue is a remarkable facility, a remarkable building, and a remarkable landmark. But in addition, it now is an amazing place to enjoy a Chanukah celebration. Robert Ben-Rion, our chairman, earlier said that Simon Jacob is responsible for him being here. And it's funny because in addition to Simon's enthusiasm for this project and not really needing to convince Robert, but for reaffirming Robert's desire to come to Paris and travel with this delegation. If there's anybody out there who has been supportive of our efforts when it comes to Jewish Unity Initiative, it is Simon Jacob, who's become an amazing friend of this radio show. You'll recall that he was with us in Sderot, and we've emphasized that the Jewish Unity Initiative has such an important part in Israel. So you'll recall that he was with us in Sderot at a very, very trying time. Remember that time, Simon? You remember that day?
Amazing.
That was an amazing trip, right in the middle of the war. You'll also recall that he was the first person to step up and tell us that we must go to Houston, Texas, in the aftermath of the floods there, which affected the Jewish community to a great extent. That show continues to play in archive form to rave reviews. And now we introduced Europe. Now we can say together that we're on our third continent, and we are in fact bringing the Jewish Unity Initiative to Europe. And you saw today what happened. You saw how people reacted when they realized why we're here and what we're doing.
It was really incredible. First of all, Nachum, I can't tell you how incredible it is to be in such a beautiful morning in Paris. I can't tell you. It's unbelievable. Such a beautiful morning. It's so exciting to be here, and it was so special to meet people. And I can't tell you also how incredible the falafel was. Yeah. It was just it just totally blew me away.
I'm sure anybody listening in Israel is rolling their eyes. But
I know, but it was pretty amazing.
This is something that came up earlier, and I said I wanted to mention it while you were on. The reaction whenever we go to Israel, it could be for a broadcast from the Inbal just with guests who come to talk about the current situation. It could be a broadcast from Sderot, as we did last year. It could be something from the Gush. It could be something from one of the great organizations that concentrates on the victims of terror or families in need, whatever it might be. We know that every time we show up, good times and bad times, there are people there who express their appreciation, but sort of they expect it at this point. They expect it if they're in a challenging situation or even regular times, they're going to see and hear American Jews come and show their solidarity. Here, that message is not communicated very often. And I think it really gave us a big boost today when we saw how people were reacting to the fact that we would pick up from the United States on Hanukkah and come here and do this. Did you get the same feeling?
Very much so. Very much so. In fact, I really got it yesterday morning when Robert and myself were visiting shul after shul looking for you.
You did. By the way, they did find me in shul.
Absolutely, 100%.
Thank you.
100%. We never knew there were so many huge synagogues so close together in Paris, and I'm not talking about. I'm talking about mega shuls, beautiful with unbelievable architecture. And each one that we walked in, we were welcomed. They looked at us like your guests. Please join us. Please daven with us. And we kept saying, well,
we got to find someone.
We got to find somebody who's supposed to be here. But it was really,
didn't
I text
amazing. You that I'd be at the Great Synagogue?
You
but
did.
Anyway,
we thought each one of them was the Great Synagogue.
And
That's
when
why.
you walk into all of them,
wow.
It does feel that way. And Robert, with his background in North Africa, Europe, we spoke about this before. You also have a background that's unique. You know many, because of your heritage, you know many areas of the Jewish world. Are you surprised that Paris has been, and it's funny that it took me to come here to discover this and to really realize it, has really been the capital of Jewish Europe, and has had such a prominent role in the international Jewish community for hundreds of years at this point.
So, you know, it's interesting. As I was listening to Robert, we were discussing it over drinks last night. It's a special place for those people who came out of the Holocaust. It's a very special place for those Jews who came from North Africa.
Right.
In fact, one of the comments that Robert made, and I never thought about this, but any of the Jews from North Africa, their only path to Israel was through France and Paris, which was huge. I never thought of that. I never realized that. It's kind of funny because my background is more English-speaking or Arabic-speaking Jews who came out of Iraq and Southeast Asia.
Right.
And because of that, we focused on countries like Australia and London as the points of immigration to the world. And London became a place where people settled for a period of time in order to get to the United States or to even get to Australia. So in that instance, we were different, and I never thought about Paris that way at all. And Robert's words just really lit me up because I remember all of those things, but not about Paris.
Right.
So it was very poignant. It really pointed it out to me.
Speaking to Simon Jacob, joined, of course, by Robert Ben Rimon. It's funny, at some point today, someone said that to us, that even now, they were, quote unquote, on their way to Israel, but stopped in Paris and ended up staying. Isn't it interesting how even today, that same route, exists?
Yes.
And sometimes, although of course, our feelings about going to Israel, but sometimes people will end up staying where they feel comfortable and where they can set up their business and continue living life. So,
absolutely,
even today, it serves that purpose.
It's interesting. One of the people who is going to be with us later, Eitan, mentioned that
he's from Paris.
He's from Paris. He's actually French originally. He mentioned that the Jews in and I might be getting this wrong. The Jews, it actually could have been my cousin Debbie who was here visiting. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Debbie, if I'm misquoting you. What she'd mentioned was that the Jews in Paris, everybody speaks English, but the Jews in Paris don't. The Jews in Paris all speak Hebrew.
Right.
So
Correct.
it's also interesting to see that difference.
There's no question that if you're stuck in Paris, and you're desperate to communicate, it's much better to open your mouth with Hebrew than with English. There's more of a chance that they're going to know Hebrew, which is so hard for Americans to understand, that English would not be the second language of anybody in Europe or anybody around the world at this point.
But I think it's mainly, obviously it's Jews. You're not going to get Parisians who are speaking Hebrew. But most of the Parisians do speak English, enough to get along and get around. And
not enough of them, in my opinion. And frankly, we'll see at the concert. How many of them will understand what I'm saying? How many of them will have to look at the subtitles? How many of them will understand the excitement behind the announcements?
Well, you have to bear in mind that France, for the past 50 years, they are very nationalist.
Right.
And supposedly some of them understand English and they could speak English, but Dafka, they won't speak English to you.
It's interesting. In some of the interviews we did, this message was coming forth. One person, I think I remember which interview it was, one person, if you read between the lines of what they were saying, they were lamenting that they no longer can identify as French. That, they want to be Jewish, I want to identify as Jews, but it hurt them that it looks like, because of the way things are going politically in this country, especially in light of what happened this week, it hurts them that there seems to be no place for them. Isn't that interesting?
I felt that woman, by the way, when I initially asked her, do you speak English? She said, No, not at all. And then
As
she
if it's an insult.
It's an insult. She opened up like a flower.
Right.
And I thought she
She
was
spoke-
One of our
yeah, she
best
spoke beautifully.
interviews.
It was the
She
best
spoke beautifully.
interview, and she
Yeah.
spoke so amazing.
Right.
So there's a
about
hesitation.
she was like crying out.
Oh, yeah. She described the
You
Jewish
know,
community
she
here.
described the Jewish community like really the way it is.
No question about
They're
it.
hurting.
But I never thought of that. When you initially approached her, she
Yes.
may have felt uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable,
Saying
correct.
to
I tried
you,
to
of
be-
course, I could speak English. It's funny.
Yeah.
Simon?
No, it was very interesting. I go back to the falafel restaurant that was jam packed. I mean, when we came in, there was a line
I know,
out
it's-
the door. We were very lucky that they kind of ushered us around because
Yeah.
we were a large group, but there was a line out the door.
And they're telling us that this is just the beginning of their rebounding.
Right.
Boy.
Right. Yeah. It was
A lot of restaurants we know would like to have that kind of beginning.
Right. Well, the food deserved it, but
Could say that
it was really great.
I want to take this opportunity, since we are speaking with the leaders of our American delegation. We want to thank all those who have traveled with us or will be traveling with us to join us at the concert on Wednesday night and be part of this experience. That includes Mr. Gilles Gade of Cross River Bank in Bergen County. He is with New York State Assemblyman Phil Goldfeder, who's going to be joining us. He was amazing on the air when he described why he wanted to be part of this. The president of Yeshiva University, Richard Joel, even before Robert, was the first person asked to join us on this mission. We felt that his vision and the vision of the institution that he represents really encapsulates this entire message. Not that others would not, but we felt that he would be a perfect person to be part of this, and he'll be addressing the crowd tomorrow night with English and subtitles. Of course, I mentioned Robert Ben Rimon and Simon Jacob, and in addition, you've told us, and I assume this is for publication at this point, that your delegation has now gotten larger.
Absolutely.
We are expecting Dr. Joe Rosazada to join us from West
Yes,
Orange, New
right.
Jersey. We are expecting Eitan. What's Eitan's last name?
El
Ben
Baziz.
El Baziz.
El Baziz,
He'll be
yeah.
joining us from West Orange, right?
From West Orange. She's in.
And Rabbi Sharbat,
Right.
who people know from the Sephardic minion at the Avos Achim Shul.
Yeah. He's the assistant rabbi.
Correct.
Of
Avos Achim.
Yeah.
He also is not passing up an opportunity to be part of this historic event.
Yep.
Is there anybody I'm leaving out? Did I get everybody in the delegation?
I think there
so.
was about 12 other people that we're talking to. We're trying to get badges to get them in, but it's actually I'm told now it's a totally sold out crowd.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
So
I think it's oversold.
It's going to be tight, but we're really looking forward.
And I take this opportunity to thank I guess if we're going to really go back in time, the first person who was part of our American delegation, that's Mr. Sam Levy. We needed someone at the very beginning who knew French and English, who wanted to sit through the tedious task of translating on the phone, which is not easy, as anybody knows. If you do business in any part, except for you, because you know 10 languages, Robert. But for anybody else, it's a tedious task. And Sam Levy is going to be joining us at this very special event. And this was really his vision in addition to ours, because he really guided us through how this would work in terms of dealing with the community here in Paris. And he has been just a wonderful leader in all this. I thank him very, very much, and he'll be joining us, Bezrat Hashem.
I want to take just a moment to say thank you to my wife for allowing me to go to Paris with Robert, which I can't believe she'd let me do this. That's number one. And number two is to say thank you to my son for also allowing me to go. And definitely a shout out to Grandma Doreen, who's I know listening because she's always listening to JM in the AM. So I really want to shout out to her and tell her we're safe, we're okay, everything's great here. We actually have people who accompany us around. Not that we really need them, but we have them, and everything's been great.
Make everyone comfortable.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to add one other thing. We've been asked to be part of French Jewish radio. There's 3 Jewish radio stations here who obviously are very excited about the event. Then when they discovered that I don't know French, just like I keep people off the air who don't know English, when they discovered I don't know French, so they said, do you have an alternative? And then we sent Mr. Sam Levy to be our spokesman to French Jewish radio. So I thank him for doing that as well. So I just wanted to add that. All right, JM in the AM. My thanks again to Simon Jacob and to Robert Ben Rimon. It's going to be a very exciting evening Wednesday night.
Really looking looking for?
You could watch it on the homepage, NachumSiegel.com. We'll have the link there, and I would hope it's going to be in a variety of other places as well. And then, of course, Thursday, we will try to get as much post-event coverage as possible. If you gentlemen think that it's going to be an early night on Wednesday night, you're mistaken, because you're going to be doing this again with us, with other special guests after the concert, which is going to be pretty late. In
Looking
France, it seems nothing really gets started too early.
No.
Yeah.
Dinner doesn't get started early.
It's part of the French culture.
Yeah. So to be
Yeah,
out till midnight is really common here.
because you don't go just to eat, you're going to dine.
An experience.
It's an experience. You know, the whole dinner, it's like a couple good hours. You got to have a wine on the table.
Right. Yeah.
No Diet Coke,
Right.
not
Yes.
just soda. You got to have a good wine, and the chef is usually sent some stuff to
No
you.
Moscato.
No Moscato.
No Moscato,
Thanks
exactly.
a lot.
Malaga.
So if the event goes till midnight,
we're in.
We could,
We're
be,
in
we, could
with
be,
you.
we could be there till 1, 2 o'clock just talking about
What do
the
you mean, 2
incredible
o'clock?
film.
3 o'clock.
Even later. There you go.
Hagurim Sameach. Hagurim
Chag
Sameach.
Urim Sameach. Happy Hanukkah. The
to
city of
everybody.
light should enjoy the festival of lights.
And we should have all the Jews should have light.
Amen. And
Yeah.
our
All year
family
round.
and our families should be able. We should be able to celebrate with them toward the
Amen.
end of the Chag and
Right.
bring
Amen.
them the same incredible light that we're bringing here to Paris. Chag Urim Sameach.
Sameach.
Happy Hanukkah. Freilich and Hanukkah to everybody. More coming up. I thank you all for tuning in. It is a JM in the AM Wednesday broadcast. The Jewish Unity Initiative coming to its amazing climax. Everybody out there, thank you for your encouragement and your dedication to this unique, important, and simplistic concept. When our brothers and sisters are in need anywhere in the world, we, as their brothers and sisters, care. I want to show how much we care and how concerned we are. And that, in this case, we've done so by coming to Paris, France. This is JM in the AM.
The scene was set back when a group of fearless men stood up for their beliefs and risked their lives. They acted with one voice and firmly made a choice, this nation be ensured that it survived. Their prayers were answered each day, their minds fixed on their destination. With victory they made their way, no longer deprived. At last they arrived to a miracle lasting for all generations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Light up the nights, the candles burning bright on the festival of lights here on Hanukkah. Our nation as a whole can reach a common goal with the fire in our souls, the light of Hanukkah.
We face a daunting task, one that we cannot mask, a danger just as real as it was then. Let's stand with open eyes to hear our brothers' cries, and courage now is needed once again. Let's carry our banner with pride for this freedom, how long we have waited. With the word of the Torah, our God. If we stand as one, it can be undone. Just think of the wonders that can be created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Light up the nights, the candles burning bright on the festival of lights here on Hanukkah. We answer to one name, our heritage is same. The power of the flames, the light of Hanukkah. Light up the nights, the candles burning bright on the festival of lights
terror attacks here in Paris. If you look at the signs and the pictures and the flowers and the candles that have been left here, it's obvious that this has left, as the other sites have, a tremendous bitter taste in the mouth of all Parisians and everybody here in France. This is something that our community can relate to, both with the Hyper Cacher attacks and with the daily terror attacks that go on, unfortunately, in Israel. It's something that we as a community worldwide can relate to. And the people of Paris, as is evident from this memorial, have certainly suffered the after effects of seeing so many of their loved ones taken in one massive terror operation. We're here with the Jewish Unity Initiative, and it's important to point out that as we stand with our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community around the world, and especially here in Paris, we certainly stand with all citizens, all upstanding citizens of this globe who are looking to live in peace and harmony, who reject terrible terror that's inflicted on different communities worldwide.
Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat.
And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat.
אצבע בחצי היום כשהשוק פתוח, הייתי ככה סתם הולך והחזה מתוח. כולם אומרים איזה קנון עובר בסמטאות, עושים שלום מכל חלון, כל הכבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי תמיד למי יש יותר כבוד. כשהקרב היה בוער והכיתה לא זזה, המפקד היה אומר אתה ראשון יא קאזה. כולם ידעו שקזבלן ראשון תמיד לצעוד, ומאחור הם צעקו כל הכבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי תמיד למי יש יותר כבוד. אחד הולך עם בחורה ביפו בן 40, אם רק ארצה אצלי תהיה ישר בין הידיים, אך לא אפריע לבחור שלא יתחיל לרעוד, כי זה אצלי פשוט פרינציפ, לי יש כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי תמיד למי יש יותר כבוד. שיכור לאיזה בר אני אותו מרגיע, אפץ לי מן השעון ישר לג'בליה, אבל אחר כך הוא חוזר ובקטן מאוד, מרים כוסית ועוד אומר כל הכבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי תמיד למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי יש יותר כבוד. כולם היו יודעים אז טוב מאוד, למי תמיד למי יש יותר כבוד. Yes!
It's a song that Robert Ben Rimon mentioned a few minutes ago, Kol HaKavod. It is the one, the only Horam Gaon. And I mentioned that it's amazing how this whole event came together. And at some point, I guess, although last Thursday we really had an opportunity and utilized it to describe how the event came together. But in the aftermath of it, hopefully we'll have more time to discuss some of the things that really went right on the road to Paris. And one of them was that we surmised correctly that there is probably no better representative musically of the Jewish unity concept than Yoram Gaon. I can't imagine anybody with, and I know that everyone has their opinion about who would fit in even better. Believe me, I know. And we could sit around the table and discuss this till ad infinitum. But to me, he is somebody who everybody from the right to left, up and down, all through the Jewish community, in some ways has touched everybody musically. And we get this opportunity to have him in Paris in an amazing performance coming up for the Jewish community of Paris, and really for everybody around the world. Remember, it's going to be on at NachumSegal.com. You'll be able to see it on the homepage and enjoy the presentation starting at 2 p.m. today. Check it out. There'll be an archive available, of course. It's going to be on television in Israel. It's being viewed as a very important statement of Jewish unity, and in this case, a musical statement, one that will not be forgotten for quite a while. You know, someone asked me the other day during an interview, how do I define unity? And I said that since we're dealing with simple concepts in this whole initiative, let's keep this simple. If your brother or sister is down, then it would be awful if you would knock them or hit them when they're down. What makes a community and brothers and sisters unified is not necessarily they have to agree on everything or always be the friendliest to each other. It's when they're down, they feel a pick-me-up from whoever it is that claims to be their brother or sister. And that's what we're all about. Unity, not easy to be unified at all times. When the chips are down, when there's challenging situations, when they get a positive word, a positive act, something from a long distance or a short distance that makes them feel better, that picks them up a bit, that to me is unity. More Yoram Gaon as we start to wrap up a Wednesday right here at JM in the AM.
עוד לא בניתי כפר, עוד לא מצאתי מים באמצע המדבר, עוד לא ציירתי פרח, עוד לא גיליתי איך תוביל תוביל אותי הדרך ולאן אני הולך. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי. עוד לא אמרתי די ואם לא עכשיו מתי. עוד לא שתלתי דשא, עוד לא הקמתי עיר, עוד לא נתתי כרם על כל גבעות הגיר, עוד לא הכל עשיתי ממש במו ידיי, עוד לא הכל ניסיתי, עוד לא אהבתי די. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי. עוד לא אמרתי די ואם לא עכשיו מתי. עוד לא הקמתי שבט, עוד לא חיברתי שיר, עוד לא ירד לי שלג באמצע הקציר, אני עוד לא כתבתי את זיכרונותיי, עוד לא בניתי לי את בית חלומותיי. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי. עוד לא אמרתי די ואם לא עכשיו מתי. ואף על פי שאת פה ואת כל כך יפה, ממך אני בורח כמו ממגפה. עוד יש הרבה דברים שרציתי לעשות, את בטח תסלחי לי גם בשנה הזאת. תביני יד, עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי. עוד לא אמרתי די ואם לא עכשיו מתי. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי. עוד לא אהבתי די ואם לא עכשיו מתי.
There he is, Yehoram Gaon, getting ready for an amazing night with him and the entire list of great performers who are going to be part of this incredible event, including, in addition to Yehoram Gaon, Ohad and Amir Haddad and Avi Miller and Itzik Dadya and Uzia Tzadok, and of course Gershon Freistein and the Symphonic Orchestra. A big, big thank you to Naftali Bennett, the Minister of Diaspora Affairs, who joined us last week on the air. And if anybody has been supportive of this initiative and has understood the importance of it, it is him and his Department of Diaspora Affairs in Israel. Whoever would have dreamed, if you would have told people 100 years ago that the care and concern for communities outside of the Holy Land would be coming from the Holy Land as opposed to the opposite, because we know, of course, over the last decades and centuries, it is usually chutz la'aretz. It's usually the out of Israel communities that are then supporting Israel, and Israel even before it was a state. Now we see so much of an effort being made by the state of Israel to strengthen and to highlight the incredible work and the incredible spirit and the incredible history and the incredible present of Jewish communities in the diaspora. And Paris, as we've been pointing out, might be number one on that list. Achenu b'Yisrael and Achim Machem, our brothers and sisters in Israel, we are with you. It's your favorite, America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program. Heard on listeners sponsored WFMU East Orange, WMFU Mount Hope, Rockland County at 91.9 in the FM dial. Broadcasting live from Paris, France. Around the world on the web, jmnam.org, and of course on the NSN app. I take this opportunity to thank everybody for tuning in. Hope you have an opportunity later on to check in on the Jewish Unity event from the Great Synagogue and to enjoy this incredible initiative, which is filled with so many important messages, including and especially the one where we declare that when Jews are in challenging situations anywhere on this globe, Jews and other communities exhibit great care and concern. Tomorrow we are back with a show that will include, for the most part, I should say, of the second half of the show, the post-concert reaction, both by performers, I hope, and those who are part of the musical end of the Jewish Unity Initiative. Make sure to be tuned in. Enjoy your Wednesday, and until tomorrow, it's Nachum Segal reminding you, remember the past, live the present, and trust the future.